What's going on guys, Joe here, welcome back to my channel, and today we are back with the Criterium du Dauphine here on PCM 2020. Of course, usually this is the big build-up race to the Tour de France, and that is no different this year despite the crazy calendar and crazy season we have in general going on this year in cycling. And we do have a shortened race due to the coronavirus, as you see on screen, just 5 stages compared to the usual 8. However, we have pretty much mountains on every stage, so this is going to be a really fun race. So taking a look at the start list, of course, it's Jumbo-Visma versus Ineos, really. They're both bringing their Tour de France teams with Roglic, Dumoulin, Kruijswijk, of course Van Aert. Won stage 1 of the race in real life as well. We'll see if he can do that again today, but we have Bernal, Thomas, Froome, Kwiato, Sivakov, all for Ineos. So these two teams will probably be fighting it out for the GC, both in the Dauphiné and the Tour later on. We also have Quickstep with Alaphilippe, Pogacar is here, the likes of Landa, we have Bookman and Sagan. Thibaut Pinot, of course, can't be counted out. We have Movistar, Israel Startup, who have signed a bunch of riders, including Chris Froome and Mike Woods recently for next season. We have Astana here, Iran for EF. Bardet and Latour here. We have Adam Yates as well, riding for the first time since he won the UAE Tour earlier in the season, beating Pogacar and Lutsenko. We have Sunweb, Arkea with Nairo Man. NTT Trek are led by Richie Porte. We have Lotto Soudal. Guillaume Martin leads Cofidis, and then you can see the final squads at this race. And so we have so much talent at this year's Dauphiné, absolutely stacked start list, and I have decided to go with Mitchelton-Scott, led by Adam Yates. Like I said, the first time he has ridden since the UAE Tour earlier on in the year, so we'll see if he can continue that form in this race, both in real life and in this playthrough right here. I did think about Cofidis, but we're going to go with Mitchelton-Scott. So stage 1 of the race is probably the easiest with the least climbing, but you can see still plenty of hills coming up and a long climb to the line. So this should be a fun one. Let's get it. So stage 1 gets underway, guys, and we're just going to keep everyone in the peloton as we have a few attacks going off the front. We'll probably go for Daryl Impey today. He did come second in stage 1 in real life, so we'll see if we can beat that and step on the top step today. Okay, so big moments already here. I'm actually going to put my guys up to 80, and that is because 5 riders behind, including Mikel Landa, Benoit Cosnefroy there as well. And it seems Bahrain not going to drop anyone else back to help them. And I'm not quite sure who it is at the front. We can take a look and see who's doing the pacing. It's Movistar and Ineos trying to keep Landa behind. So here is the moment. A long time later, Caruso and Matej Mohoric are done, but Landa does just about get back in. And look at the state of our team. Everyone is absolutely knackered already. So everything did slow down and come back together, and we now do have a small breakaway with Tommy Slata and Fausto Masnada out front. It seems De Gonds isn't going to get there as the pace in the peloton picks up again. So midway up this penultimate climb, we've lost Nick Schultz. We've now lost Christopher Juhl Jensen as well. I'm going to use actually Bookwalter to protect Impey and Howson to protect Adam Yates. And we're really struggling to stay in this group. It's a very high tempo. I think we'll be fine though, as the pace on the front does slow a little now. Here we go then, guys. We're now on the final climb. I've created a 3-man train with Bookwalter, Howson and Impey, and the goal here is to keep Impey to the front. We also have Yates, who will maybe try and sprint for it depending how difficult this final climb is, but ideally we will get Daryl Impey to the finish. 9k to go. We do get a little break on this downhill right now, down to 64 riders now in this group. Okay, so 6k to go in this stage. The pace does slow on the front, and we are actually now at the front of the peloton, only at 75 there, and we did make it right to the front. Adam Yates trying to take position to the front as well. He can use his gel. Impey low on energy, and maybe I've gone too early here. I'm going to drop Bookwalter to 75. As we have an attack, is that from Soler? No, he's just pacing, luckily for us. So Howson can pace at 72. Bookwalter is done. Youngle's now setting a hard tempo as well. Yates needs to come to the front. We don't have long left now in this stage. I think Yates can maybe try and sit on Roglic's wheel, but he can't do that for now. As we have Dylan Toons making a move right here, and this is putting us in a very difficult situation. Can I pace now with Impy into the final kilometers? Oh, this is difficult. This is really difficult with follow. Jack Hay, can he pace at maybe 95 up to 99? I don't think Impy's going to have it. We're just going to have to sprint with Yates, sprint with Daryl Impey as well. But Warren Barguil takes the stage. What a win. Alaphilippe second, Roglic third. Yates will be fourth, and that was a really difficult stage. Impey sixth in the end, as it seems a group of 24. But Warren Barguil takes the win out of nowhere, and you can see we have the likes of Bob Jungels, Lutsenko, Sagan, and everyone else in this group out the back. So Emmanuel Buchmann has been dropped as well today. That is a big surprise. Bardet is down here, also Van Aert, Higuita, Richie Porte is down here. Plenty of favourites dropped on stage one. So a big surprise to me here as Warren Barguil wins stage one of the Dauphiné. Definitely surprising ahead of Alaphilippe and Roglic, but Yates still in the battle for the GC, and like I mentioned, plenty of favourites. Buchmann, a massive surprise getting dropped. Emmerich Mas, Lutsenko. I'll scroll through and you can see all of the favourites, Richie Porte and the rest that have been dropped here on stage one. So stage two of the race, and maybe a chance for Richie Porte to get back in contention today, as we have the Col de Porte, of course, and a very difficult final climb. Let's see how it goes. All right, guys, we got underway for stage two. You can see Yates on a 0 race day and Daryl Impey actually coming to the front of the peloton, and I'm putting in an attack right here with Impey because I think it will be useful on a +3 day. Not really going for the stage here, but definitely helpful to have someone up the road to maybe help out Yates later on in the stage. We have a split right there, but it will come back together, I'm sure. But yeah, trying to get Impey in the break today. So we now have Porte in a break of 9 riders up the road. You can see we have the likes of Roland, Chris Neerlands, Tom Scoynes, Pierre Roland, Cosnefroy as well, a very good rider in today's break. And I think we can try and take this intermediate sprint because I think Impey has won the green jersey at the Dauphiné a few times. Would be a good goal for us this year as well. So here we come into the final kilometres before this intermediate sprint. Impey can open it up. We are the best sprinter in this group, and it shows right here, taking this one very comfortably indeed. And moving up to second in that competition. My word, look at this. We have a massive Jumbo-Visma train on the front of the peloton, trying to drop some of the other main favourites. Impey just sat in this group, still not worried about the KOM points right here. Still at the front of the race with these 5 riders and looking pretty strong, it must be said, with 4 minutes back to the peloton. My word, guys, the pace right now is absolutely huge. We have Jumbo-Visma really laying the hammer down on the front of the peloton. We have Dumoulin working already, cutting the gap to 2 minutes to that breakaway up the roads. Impey won't be winning the stage, but in a fantastic position to help out our leaders. So Impey has just been caught by the peloton and really in the perfect position, like I said, to help out Adam Yates. And the tempo is still just absolutely huge right now. Sepkus on the front, down to 49 riders. Suddenly it's going to be much less very quickly with 14k to go. 41 riders, as many more really struggling with the tempo set on this climb. And oh my word, Egan Bernal is already done on this climb. This is absolutely crazy. Bernal is done with 11k still to go on the Col de Porte. I did not see that one coming at all. So here we go, 9k to go, and Thibaut Pinot is on the attack. Landa, Alaphilippe, Quintana and Valverde all try to react. I'm not going to be too hasty here. I'm going to try and pace my way up as I see Roglic is done for Jumbo-Visma. My word, this is absolutely crazy stuff right here. Kruijswijk and Dumoulin still going strong as Cosnefroy tries to block us off, it seems. But we're in this group of 22 with Haig and Impey. Yates can't go on too much longer at this tempo, so we have to be careful as Dumoulin is now done. Up the roads, we do have Alaphilippe and Quintana with Lanza and Pinot looking so good. My word, as I think that's Geraint Thomas also now done. We're going to have to up Yates. Oh, we can't really. I'll try and pace 75 to the line, I think. We're trying to stay in this group as Youngle's doing a very good job to still be here. We have Pogačar, Bookman and Lopez just ahead of us, but we're pretty much done with Adam Yates. I'll pace 70 to the line, see where we end up, I think. But up the road, Valverde, Kruijswijk, Quintana has been dropped. Landa and Pino trying to stay with Julian Alaphilippe. What a ride. So Yates recovering quite nicely as we pass Dan Martin. Hopefully we can drop Bookman and Pogačar and Lopez off our wheel. Valverde, I think, is a good aim to bridge to, but up the roads, Quintana and Duran have been dropped. Pino has been dropped, and we have Alaphilippe, Kruijswijk and Landa at the front with 2.5k to go. Okay, then into the final 2k we go with Yates. We've bridged to Valverde and we have dropped him with Yates, so we are recovering quite nicely on this climb. We've dropped Bookman, Lopez, Martin as well. We are pretty much done though with 1.5k to go, trying to drop Tadej Pogačar as well. I think we will do that. At the very front though, it's Landa versus Steven Kruijswijk, and Steven Kruijswijk wins on the Col de Porte. What a stage, not quite what I expected, I will be honest with you guys. Landa second, Pino third, Alaphilippe will be fourth, and I think Yates will recover quite nicely. I think we will be seventh in the end, but losing almost 2 minutes to Kruijswijk. Wow, Steven Kruijswijk with an absolute monster climb on the Col de Porte. He takes the lead as well ahead of Mikel Landa. Where was Barguil in the end? Because of course he started the day in yellow. Where was Romain Barguil? Have I missed him? He must have been very low down in the end. 47th, my word, losing 7 minutes. But Egan Bernal loses 6 minutes. And just as I scroll through, massive names. Primož Roglič, almost 5 minutes down. What a crazy stage this was. And we are now 7th in the GC. On to stage 3 then, and we have another mountain stage, of course. But that intermediate sprint is going to be important for Daryl Impey, I believe. And then we have the Col de Medellin and then a shorter climb to the finish. Yikes, so we do see Kruijswijk in the leader's jersey, but Yates on a -2 day with some poor fitness as well. He is going to struggle on today's stage, I am sure. However, we have managed to get Impey in that breakaway, and it is quite big at the moment with the likes of Hershey in this group. So 2.5k to go. Jack Haig has fallen, but I have to concentrate on this intermediate sprint right now with 1.5k to go. Impey up to 99, slightly downhill. I think we should have this, and no one else even going for it, I don't think so. We can sit up and just wait for this group again, but Jack Haig falling all by himself, it would seem. Can he get back in? Because he is our second helper, would be a big loss. So Jack Haig did just about make it back in, but at the expense of Nick Schultz. But luckily our super domestique Jack Haig is still here, just 2 minutes up to the breakaway at this point. But as I say that, it's a massive moment because Steven Kruijswijk has fallen, the race leader alongside Thibaut Pinot. Team Ineos are pacing hard, and you know what? Those guys paced when Haig was behind. We're going to have to do it, guys. I'll actually still protect Adam Yates with Bookwalter. That should be fine. But Kruijswijk and Pinot down, and those teams are going to have to drop everyone, including Roglic and Dumoulin. Why are they dropping these two guys? Why would they not drop everyone else in the team and leave those guys in the peloton? I have no idea. But anyhow, this is our opportunity. We're going to pace pretty hard on the front right now. Alright, so race leader and Thibaut Pinot will make it back into the peloton, but hopefully they have expended a lot of energy, so we'll continue pacing on 85 at the front. Yates can up the tempo as well, obviously, to stay with those guys. And I know we're catching Impey here, but he has those sprint points. I'm not really going for the stage with him. He's not going to take it against those guys in the breakaway. So maybe that was a bit of a mistake, because Juul Jensen and Hausen out the back. We have just Impey and Bookwalter left to help out Adam Yates, and still almost 100 riders in this group, and all the guys like Kruijswijk, Pinot are looking pretty good. So I think we've put ourselves in more trouble than we were already in. But at the front of the race, it is Richie Porte, one stage too late from winning on the Col de Porte. He's looking pretty good today, as the pace is pretty fast set by Bahrain McLaren on the front, but we're trying to conserve as much energy as we can. Alright, so we're just coming off what has been a really difficult descent. The pace has been so high, set by Ineos, I think, on the front. Up the roads, no one really dangerous as far as I can see in the GC. Impey's been dropped trying to grab some water as well, so I'll have to get that with Bookwalter, it seems. And Really not going to plan this stage at all right now with MP out the back. Toons, Sivakov also have been dropped on that downhill. So entering the final climb, 14k to go. This is just about damage limitation for Yates today. We're gonna lose a lot of time. I'm almost certain of that. Hopefully we can just limit our losses, and the tempo already too fast for us really. I'm gonna put it to 88, 87 just to try and stay there. Just Paul and Roland's left up the roads, but Yates hardly able to stay in this group on 87. Oh boy, here we go then. Attacks have begun, and Yates just getting blocked so horribly at the back of this group. But Alaphilippe is attacking off the front, just 34 seconds down in the GC. Caruso is the man to try and hunt him down, as strong riders getting drops all the time. Yates with 10k to go is pretty much done, as we're blocked off by Guillaume Martin, and that is the end of our race. It would seem we're struggling to get back in even on 92 efforts. Into the final kilometre we go then, and Geraint Thomas is leading by 30 seconds. He's over 3 minutes down in the GC. I think the battle for yellow is behind, but Geraint Thomas is going to win stage 3 of the Dauphiné, and to me it seems Landa can move into the leader's jersey. He just needs to stay with Alaphilippe, and he does that just about. Pogacar, Bernal and Duran battle for the next positions. Where is Yates? I mean, so far down, trying to catch Dumoulin and Kruijswijk, but we're going to lose time on all of these guys ahead of us. So big win for Geraint Thomas, getting himself back in some kinds of contention here, but 3.5 minutes lost for Adam Yates today. But it does mean Landa goes into yellow, Alaphilippe second, and really a 2-horse race right now with around almost 2 minutes down in third. We drop outside the top 10 now, 4.5 minutes down. Stage 4 up next then, and plenty of climbing to take place in the first half of the stage, and then more climbs to the end as well. So no surprise there, let's get into it. So stage 3 underway, and with our GC all but over, I have stacked our squad in the breakaway. We have Impey here of course, with Schultz and Hausen trying to bridge up as well. Quite a few riders trying to get in today's breakaway it seems. But Impey just needs to pace on 84 and try and stay here to that intermediate sprint. That is our only goal here. Alright, this is proving a lot more difficult than I expected, because Hausen and Schultz already done. Impey still in the second group, a minute down on the 7 riders at the front, and some super strong climbers are in that group, so it could be difficult to get those sprint points. 6k still to go on this climb, and I'm afraid guys, it seems this break just too strong for us. At the front we have Martin, Benoot and Pozzo, and they're 2 minutes ahead of Daryl Impey right now, and he can hardly stay in his current group, so looking very difficult. And back in the peloton, the pace really high, 61 riders are now here. We have just Yates and Haig, who's hardly still in this group. Impey 3 minutes down, trying to recover in the downhill, getting dropped by the Sunweb riders as well, just going all wrong for us at this race it seems. Right, so most of the climbing is now done. We have now settled into this group, but we're 2.5 minutes down with MP. We have Hershey, Port, Mühlberger amongst others. Quite a few riders are ahead of us. Pozzo, Martin and Martin right at the front. They have a big lead. Can we maybe catch those guys on this long flat kind of valley section leading into that intermediate sprint? So 7k to go to that intermediate sprint. These are the guys at the very front of the race now, and they're pushing away again. Can Mühlberger help us out? You will see Yates is just struggling so much on today's stage as well. He's going to lose yet more time, I am sure, but MP doing the work up to these guys at the front, and we have done it. 5.5k before that intermediate sprint, we are at the front of the race. So 2.5k to go. We've worked all stage for this moment with Daryl Impey. We'll sit on Hershey's wheel into the final kilometre. We'll go right now with Daryl Impey. I'm sure we'll be the fastest man in this group, and we are by far. Daryl Impey takes the intermediate sprint, and we go 2 points ahead of Julian Alaphilippe, and that is exactly why we worked so hard to put ourselves in this position. I'm going to drop him back now to help out Adam Yates, but I think we're going to lose many more minutes today, and probably we'll be stage hunting with him on the final stage of the race. Oh boy, here we go, 40k to go in the stage. I was starting to think Yates could maybe stay in this group, but Miguel Angel Lopez on the attack, so is Valverde, and that is going to prompt the pace to really increase in the main peloton here, which does mean Yates is about to be dropped, I'm sure. But maybe as Valverde is caught, they will allow Lopez up the roads, but now Alaphilippe attacking as well. Lopez 4 minutes down. I thought they'd let him go, but Alaphilippe second place in the GC. They will not let Julian Alaphilippe up the road, that is for sure. And Yates about to crack on this climb. So front of the race with 11k to go, you can see the situation. Lopez has been caught. No one off the front right now, solo at least. I have dropped Yates back to Daryl Impey's group. He can just sit on his wheel. 5 minutes down. We need to lose a bit more time if we want to be allowed in that breakaway on the final stage. The likes of Rigo Iran, third place in the GC, has been dropped. So not really as bad as I thought for Yates to be dropped, but still disappointing. Not on too bad a day on that 0. We'll see how the stage finishes here on stage 4. So front of the race, 3k to go. Alaphilippe going for the line, and we really need someone to catch and beat Alaphilippe today, because he will overtake, of course, Daryl Impey in that green jersey. That is not what we are looking for. With 2k to go, Alaphilippe looking super strong today, trying to hold off the rest of the peloton. Dumoulin, Martin, Pozzo have been dropped already. As we head into the final kilometre, Lopez paying for those efforts. Alaphilippe has been caught. Thomas going for the line, but it seems Alaphilippe won't be strong enough to take the stage. Geraint Thomas wins his second stage in a row. Alaphilippe beats Valverde to second, so he will stay in green. Going to be difficult for Impey heading into the final stage, and you can see quite a lot of guys finishing close together at the front. So Geraint Thomas really finding his form at this year's Dauphiné. You can see he moves up to 5th place, but still Alaphilippe versus Landa in the GC, and Alaphilippe does take that leader's jersey from Mikel Landa on today's stage. I made sure we lost a lot of time with Adam Yates finishing almost 12 minutes down, dropping to 23rd, but that does mean we should be allowed in the breakaway tomorrow. Impey second in the green jersey, agonisingly close to taking that from the seemingly unbeatable Alaphilippe. On to the final stage then, and this is where we need to find redemption for what has been a very poor race. We need the stage win. That is the goal today. So the final stage of what has been a pretty poor race for us, it must be said, but Impey is in that green jersey, obviously second in the competition, but he does wear it with Alaphilippe going into yellow. He will try and get in the breakaway, but we want Yates, Haig, Buchwalter, Nick Schultz, as many other riders as possible in that break as well. So this has been a weird stage so far, because we are in the breakaway with Haig, Yates and Impey. Iran up the road, just 22 riders behind, and there is a serious split right here between the peloton and the rest of it. You can see 123 riders are behind, so making it very difficult for us to stay away up the road. So coming to the top of this climb, it's a very strange situation again, because the pace was high up that climb. I set a really high tempo, and we now have Haig and Impey off the front alongside Richie Porte, it would seem. So if we can work together as a trio, that would be perfect for us, because Haig up the road, dangerous for the stage alongside Richie Porte, and Impey can then take those sprint points. Haig can just sit up and wait for Impey. Yates has been unable to get in the breakaway, but that does allow him just to sit in the peloton, maybe try and bridge later in the stage, but just 71 riders now left in the peloton. So 3k to go towards the top of this climb, and Impey has now cracked, so not ideal. It seems Haig and Porte are going to be caught as well, so maybe worth sitting up with all of them. Hopefully Impey can stay in the peloton here, and hopefully the pace does now slow with everyone being caught. Just 41 riders at the front. So cresting that climb, not looking good for Impey. He has just about been dropped by the peloton. 13k to go on the downhill to try and fight for those sprint points up ahead. Gonna be difficult. Can he do it? Here we go then on the downhill. You can see Impey attacking away from that group behind, trying to catch the peloton, but sadly guys, I think it's going to be too little too late to fight for that green jersey here today. So we'll concentrate on these guys, and I think Yates actually will be looking after Haig for the remainder of the day on that +4. And yes, 3k to go. Impey's still not in the peloton. It's not going to happen, it seems. We have now reached the final stage of this very, very strange Criterium du Dauphine, and we have 49 riders, 3.5 minutes down. Impey did do some work but he's pretty much done now. And Haig, I don't think is going to be strong enough to take this from the peloton. Yates is going to try and protect him, and let's see how well Haig can do today. At the very front of the race, we have Rigo Iran with a big lead. So 12k to go. Haig is not going to be strong enough to take this stage. He's almost done with 12k to go. And to be honest, I'm just getting blocked off so much in all of these groups. It's pretty much a nightmare to play, but we're doing well to still be in this group with Haig. Thibaut Pinot is going to try and bring back Steven Kruijswijk, who is dropped by Thomas, Alaphilippe and Landa. And these four guys have been the standout at this race. But Haig about to go out the back, but you can see Bernal, Froome, Valverde, Lopez all have been dropped already, so this is not in bad company. Into the final meters then comes Geraint Thomas. He's going to win his third stage in a row at this race, but it's going to be too little too late after losing too much time, I think, because Landa is going to win the Dauphiné ahead of Steven Kruijswijk, who I think will be third behind Geraint Thomas in the end. Alaphilippe cracks on the final day. He is nowhere, you can see, getting dropped substantially. Jack Haig will finish in this group behind, but yeah, a very disappointing race for Mitchelton-Scott. So guys, a disappointing race, it must be said. I must apologise for the very poor performance, but I mean, what a crazy race. It's such a stacked field. You can see the likes of Froome, of course, Roglic, Bernal, really were nowhere at this race, and that just shows just how tough it was. We could have been a lot higher in the GC, but I chose to lose time trying to get Yates in today's breakaway, but didn't happen in the end, and just a poor race in general. Impey was third in green with Thomas taking it in the end. Dan Martin took the KOM and Pog took the White Young Riders jersey, with Jumbo-Visma coming out on top against Ineos in the team classification. But yeah guys, despite the horrible performance, again, I do apologise. Hope you enjoyed the video anyhow. Do drop a like if you did. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Drop a sub as well if you're new to the channel. I will see you guys in the next one.